Hey, I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome to Walking the Financial Highline. My name is Matt. I am with Highline Financial Coaching, and I'm excited to be with you tonight. I'm excited because the topic is one that I've been thinking about for a long time. In June, my wife and I are going to hit 23 years of marriage, and as we get closer to that event, I've thought a lot about our relationship and some of the highs and lows of how we've made it this far. I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and they asked me how we had made it this far with a lot of the challenges that we had run into in our life. So today, we want to talk about balancing your financial goals with the needs and desires of your loved ones, because that can be extremely challenging. But with the right strategy, it's very possible to achieve that harmony and success in both areas of your life. So let's go over a few things. I'm going to share some of the experiences that my wife and I have had, as well as some that other people have had that I've had the opportunity to coach. So this can be a little more of a sensitive topic in some areas, but if it's something that you can master in your relationships, it gives you one more tool to have those successful relationships. So the first thing we want to talk about is communication. Now, when you go into a relationship, everybody has their personality when it comes to finances, or they may have a lot of baggage associated with it. My wife and I got married when we were very young, so we didn't have a lot of financial baggage coming into that. I was in college. My wife had graduated from cosmetology school, so she was working full time and doing a great job with that. I was working full time and going to school full time. So we were both trying to make sure that we had time available after work and school, and communication, it was vital. Open and honest communication about money is the foundation of any successful relationship. And I know money is a difficult topic for a lot of people to address. A lot of times money makes us feel like we're either better or worse in the relationship, who earns more, who earns less. And like I said, when my wife and I got married, she was a cosmetologist making great money. And we joke around because I had to finance her wedding ring, and she actually made the last payment on it. And I think that was good for us, because once we got married, it became our finances instead of separating them. And we actually shared bank accounts just before we got married. We made sure we got those combined and put together, and tried to be as transparent as we could possibly be. We both came from different families. My family, we always had everything we needed, but my family, my dad worked for the same company my entire life. And we knew exactly what he brought in, and he had some commissions that helped. And though we never struggled, we never felt like we had extra. And we always had a great, I felt like he always had a great income, but again, there was never those extras. Where my wife came from a family where her parents were entrepreneurs, and so they saw the ups and downs of finances, and the good, the bad, the have money, no money, and they had battled in a different direction than my family had growing up. And so for us to communicate and try to understand each other a little bit better and where we came from made it easier for us to make the necessary changes we needed for our family. So the second thing was establishing shared goals. And in a relationship, this can be challenging, or it can be very simple, depending on where you're at. And I know as we got married, we actually had our first kid before we graduated college. And so our first goals were to graduate and to get into a job and one of the things that we wanted, that my wife wanted, was to be able to stay home with the kids and be able to raise them as we had our kids growing and doing those things. And so when we graduated college, I got a great job with Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. And at that time, my income was going to be more than both of us had made together. So that was a good break for us to be able to make that leap of faith. And it's a huge one for any of you parents that have left a job to be a stay-at-home parent. It's a huge leap of faith. And it's one that we are so grateful that we made when we jumped, with everything going on in the world and schools and all the challenges you have with families. It was one of the best blessings we had, was to have my wife be able to stay home with the kids. And then I also had a job where I could work from home, so we could tag team in a lot of different areas when it was needed. So that was one of our shared goals, is we wanted to have that family, the unity, and to be able to be close as possible during those crucial years. And we also, when we first got that job, we wanted to get into our first home. And at the time, it was a little bit easier to get into homes than it is now. And we were living in Colorado, and we moved to a town close to Loveland, Colorado, called Johnstown, and built a house up there. And I remember thinking that we got the best possible interest rate on earth, and I think it was 6%. I was like, this is incredible. And any of you guys that have seen the last couple of years know that interest rates fell below 3%, so they even got much better. But we made some dumb decisions. We got into a house with we got an interest rate that was tiered. So the first year it stayed lower, and then every year it got a little bit higher. And luckily I was in a position that we could refinance the house after a year or two, so that interest rate didn't skyrocket and go through the roof. But we were able to communicate during those times, and during those times we had our first layoff. And that was an extremely difficult time for us, because it put a new kink in our goals. It made it so that one day we had money and then we didn't have money. And with me being the sole income provider at that time, it was difficult. My wife was doing a great job at home. Things were going well, and yet we didn't have any money coming through the door. Luckily, we got a job very quickly, and we didn't feel that pain very long. But there were some times that we felt that pain, and felt it a lot. And we had to fight and get through that process. Now, the next one's setting boundaries and respect. And this one is a crucial component of any healthy relationship, especially when it comes to finances, because those boundaries, I know most of the people I coach have somebody that spends money and somebody that doesn't spend money. It makes it very difficult if you have two that are the money spenders in the group, in the relationship. But most of the time you have both of those. But you want to make sure that you've got those boundaries and know when to spend, and put limitations on that. But as well, you want to have rewards, so that when you do something good, you're able to pay off some debt, you're able to get into your house, or do something where you get a great bonus. Celebrate those wins. Go out and do something. Enjoy that. When we manage our finances correctly, it doesn't mean that we don't spend any money. It actually a lot of times it means we spend more. We just spend it more disciplined and put it in the correct places. So, and be willing to celebrate both of the things you enjoy most. So also, you want to compromise and be flexible. Know that everyone's going to make mistakes with money. If you're in a relationship together, you're going to make some investments that are great, and some of them that are not so great. One of them that happened with us a couple of years ago, well, it was quite a few years ago, is we decided to invest in a flip. We flipped a property, and it was out of state. We did everything right. I got the coaching on how to flip. Actually, the guy who coached me was my partner on that first flip, and I loved it because he was willing to put his money where his mouth was. And we went out and made this flip, bought the property, and it didn't turn out so well. Right after we bought it, it tanked. We had a lot of foreclosed houses that happened just after we bought this property, so it dropped in value a lot. We lost, I think it was $26,000 on this house, and I remember being devastated. I was sitting at a swimming pool with my family when I found out how much money we lost, and it made me sick to my stomach because I was like, how did I screw up so bad when it came to our finances? And luckily, both my wife and I were on board with the plan. We knew what the risks were. We didn't like what happened with it, but over the next couple of years, we were able to recover from that, pay back all the money that we borrowed from friends and family to do that flip, and made it through. And it proved to us that we can make it through any of those financial challenges that may happen. And so there's a few examples. I hope some of those were beneficial to you. I know that everyone out there has their challenges with finances. These were a few small ones, but the reason that I'm a financial coach is because of these challenges. I love helping people get into that position where they, one, are protected and safe if something were to happen, like a job loss, because I've experienced that so many times, and get into a position where you can thrive and benefit with your family and create that lifestyle that you want. For me, I needed to bring in more income and have more stability with my finances so that I can spend more time with my family. I don't want to be at work 100 hours a week. I want to spend as much possible time as I can with them and enjoy that when we're together. So by prioritizing communication, establishing those shared goals, creating boundaries and respect, and practicing compromise and flexibility, you can create those strong foundation for financial and relationship success. So go ahead and start implementing these strategies in your own life and watch as your finances and relationships thrive. I've had a couple clients that finances were the major issue in their relationship. And as we got that under control, it started opening up their relationship and making it stronger and more valuable. And I've had a few people that didn't even live under the same roof when we started working together. And because of their hard work and their willingness to compromise and understand each other as we went forward, they are now under the same roof and are thriving in their relationship. So if you found today's video helpful, I'm going to do a couple more of them on finances and relationships, but go ahead and like this, share this, and subscribe to our channel. Again, we do these videos a couple times a week, and hopefully there's something that you can take from this to help your finances. And if you ever want to review those with one of our professionals, please contact us directly. Our contact information is in the description of this video. So I hope you guys all have a great day. This is Matt with Walking the Financial Highline with Highline Financial Coaching. So I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.